Recording in progress.
Peace, More. Peace, Noble.
Islam. Peace.
Islam. Yeah, Islam. Let's give it a second. We let everybody log on. Give it this. How you doing today, Noble?
Oh, good. Pretty good. Good. How about yourself?
You the first one on here, so I'm gonna give you this word, this something to look up, because I'm always gonna deal with civics and common law. Look up right of rescission real fast.
Right of rescission?
Mm-hmm. I told you I'm gonna start fact checking everybody. The truth will make you free.
How you spell rescission?
RESCISSION.
Right.
We'll wait for the rest of our nobles to get in. Little homework, little something real fast. So they keep it in your head. We'll wait till everybody logs in. Remember when I tell about law, Maso, I always say the pendulum swing both ways. We can't let nobody manipulate law with that fraudulent concealment and only giving. It's almost like a Masonic secret. What they'll do, they'll lead you all the way out and then abracadabra disappear. So you don't know where you are and you don't know where to go. It's almost like, what was it, when they was out, the Little Red Riding Hood, and she was dropping the breadcrumbs and they didn't know where to go back to?
Right.
I'm going to start showing you all this stuff, be Masonic secrets to keep people trapped up in falsehoods. Everything have a basis. And that's one of the Masonic secrets, with a person that leads you somewhere and then turn around, you sinking in quicksand. It's just what it is. And we don't lead nobody in the burning houses. Islam? Islam, Noble. Islam. Can somebody, we gonna go over the Quran. Where we at? What chapter? What 3, Noble?
3 and 4.
Yep. Somebody wanna pull that up?
I got it open. I have it open.
I need to make you host or something, more co-host.
Co-host.
Okay. We gonna get started. We gonna good time. I gave Maso another common law dealing with homes and real estate and everything. Look up right of rescission, Noble.
Right of rescission?
Yep.
Okay.
Look that up, and we're gonna speak on that real quick. And when I tell you, you gotta study it all. We'll let some more get you in something and have you all excited and get you all in trouble. So we got 1 more minute, and we're gonna jump right into it. Read it all. If you pull it up, read it all. Well, remember, you never can arbitrarily explain law. Remember that. In a court of law, it's a thing called fraudulent concealment. Also in the court of law, it's a copyright law where you can use things that people be trying to pass for truth and law, and you can debate that and be like, that's false, because the truth will make us free. So just get a quick look at this when people be going to get things and buying things. And I said, you ain't consulted with nobody before you went and made one of the biggest decisions in your life. So you don't want to consult somebody that know all this, that's educated in this. You want to consult with somebody that made a video on the internet and don't and not operating nothing they saying, getting you excited to lose everything you have. And why people, when they get in the age of 40, they want to become criminals. I don't get that, y'all. So this is going to be a good one, y'all. This is going to be a good one. Get your pencils and your papers. Look, what, is it 2 o'clock yet?
Yeah. Right now.
Well, it's about that time. Let's do our North American prayer.
Allah, Father of the universe, Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my God, and my salvation, by night and by day, through his holy prophet, Drew Ali. Amen. Ashrei, Ash'ar, Islamism, Shalom Aleichem. Peace, 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 peace.
Peace, 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 nobles. Like I said, if you late, you're not early. And if you early, you're never late. Because a lot can be given in the first minute or two, and then boom, class over. I've done that so much on the college campus where people be like, "Damn, how class over?" Like, you should have been here on time. So I want to give gratitude for everybody taking time out of their day and making things that's important, and also balancing your life and understanding this more science and this nobility is about understanding yourself and your family first. We build our family and we love what we have. So with that being said, Noble Malik, I gave Noble Lamarck a word when I tell people in how can I call it, common law, when you're purchasing a home, or even with cars, when I was dealing with it, and I gave you all those common law books and things. So now I want these nobles to divulge in the definition or the phrase right of rescission. Did anybody find it?
Yeah, definitely. I found it, Noble.
Okay.
Right of rescission.
Mm-hmm.
I found it on the consumerfinance.gov page. It says a consumer's right to rescind in a credit transaction in which a security interest is or will be retained or acquired in a consumer's principal dwelling. Each consumer whose ownership interest is or will be subject to the security interest shall have the right to rescind the transaction, except for transactions described in paragraph F of this section. For purpose of this section, the addition to an existing obligation of a security interest in a consumer principal dwelling is a transaction. The right of rescission applies only to the addition of the security interest and not the existing obligation. The creditor shall deliver the notice required by paragraph B of this section, but need not deliver new material disclosure. Delivered of the required notice shall begin the rescission period. That's the first definition.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know you probably found the other one, didn't you, Barclay? It's more.
Yeah.
It's more.
Yeah, I found. Well, I mean, I have probably a shorter version of what Maso, just kind of said. It says in contract law, rescission is an equitable remedy which allows a contractual party to cancel the contract. Parties may rescind if they are victims of a vitiating factor such as misrepresentation, mistake, duress, or undue influence. Rescission is the unwinding of a transaction. This is done to bring the parties as far as possible back to the position in which they were before they entered into a contract.
Now, remember, duress, influence. Remember, when you sign things, that don't mean it's it if you know law, but you shouldn't be signing anything if you don't know law. Now, they said you can rescind, but what they don't be telling more is what's the time period? So when you sign a document, say you get a mortgage loan and you say, "Oh, I don't like it." What's the time period of when you see these mortgages we talk about? You got all the forever. No, you don't. You should have read that within a amount of time, for you can read it and know that you're under false pretense under contract. And the law says you got a certain amount of time to get out of that. It says it in there. All Moore's got to do is do some research. When I say you're gonna get caught up in what? Fraudulent concealment, contempt of court. Because what? There's no excuse of not knowing the law in a court of law, right? You cannot arbitrarily explain the law. The law is there to protect you if you know the law. They saying you don't go into nothing, you don't never go into no contract without consulting. Never. Never. Especially if you don't know. You just go in there all happy lucky. And the biggest thing a purchase is most Moors get is a home. Right?
Right.
Okay. So keep that in your hippocampus, right? Of rescission. When Moors be making all these videos, and I'm like, look them up and watch they be lying. It's a thing called the Free Information Act. Precedent in law cases, doc number. You can look all these people up that be lying. I'm telling you, they ain't got nothing because it's just like statute of limitations. It's a time pertaining to the law.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
Yeah.
Now these is facts. I don't care how many videos you make. I don't care how many books you get. The what is called the Constitution, UCC, and all that. I don't care about all that, Noble. Like, please. So what's the thing you try to do? You trying to get something free. You trying to squat in the house. What's your mission? Nothing. We talking about protecting your right when you're going into contracts. So come on. That's what we talk about, doing things honorable. What's the use of telling people all this if they're not even winning contracts? Do you see how these people be contradicting themselves? They'll make all these videos more to say they'll get over the law and be teaching you something about consumer law and all this for what? If you ain't under none of that. Huh? I just want us to use our brain. Say what, Noble?
The right of rescission for mortgage loans is 3 days.
Okay. Is what?
3 days.
Okay. So let these cats come with these lying videos about, yeah, and 8 months later, I did this. You lying, ain't the truth in you. Pertaining to the law.
That's when you sign the promissory note.
Pertaining to the law. You shouldn't sign no contract without understanding. Because you're going to say you under duress, influence. They're going to say, okay, pertaining to the law, you had X amount of days to take this contract to the right people. I've been showing y'all all these so-called attorneys, but I'll do this. You know what I mean? To where you can defend yourself in the right manifestation. So if I was making something up, come on, the proof is in the pudding, right?
Right.
Okay. Just keep that there. Let's jump into class. Can we put that Quran up?
Yeah.
And if we got time, we're going to jump right into, I'm going to show y'all a couple of biblical teachings that shows who we are in scripture. This period, when a person always want to say color don't matter and all this, man, we're not into that. Color do matter. I'm going to talk about, like I told y'all, the book of Barak and Idris, when I show y'all what's everything in the Greek dot in the museums and all that. The reason why they say things are not canon and things, because when they go with first century pictures, all those descriptions is going to show you. And I'm going to show y'all when I do that next. So we in chapter 3, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Chapter 3, Elihu's lessons, the unity of life. Again, Elihu met his pupils in the sacred grove and said, no man lives unto himself, for every living thing is bound by cords to every other living thing. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they will love and not demand love in return. They will not do to other men what they would not have other men do unto them. There are 2 selves, the higher and the lower self. The higher self is human spirit, clothed with soul, made in the form of Allah. The lower self, carnal self, the body of desires, is a reflection of higher self, distorted by the murky ethers of the flesh. The lower self is an illusion and will pass away. The higher self is Allah in man and will not pass away. The higher self is the embodiment of truth. The lower self is truth reversed, and so is falsehood manifest. The higher self is justice, mercy, love, and right. The lower self is what the higher self is not. The lower self breeds hatred, slander, lewdness, murder, theft, and everything that harms. The higher self is mother of all virtues and the harmonies of life. The lower self is rich in promises, but poor in blessedness and peace. It offers pleasure, joy, and satisfying gain, but gives unrest, misery, and death. It gives men apples that are lovely to the eye and pleasant to the smell. Their cores are full of bitterness and gall.
Let's stop right there for 1 second. I want to highlight one of those. Can you go back? I want to highlight one of those. Actually, 12. The lower self is rich in promises. Just think about that literal for a minute. When a person say, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it, I always like to use real analogies. The lower self is rich in promises, but poor in blessedness and joy. Huh? Say it again. Go ahead, Noble, say it.
That's what it says by distorted by the murky ethers, and the definition of murky is dark, gloomy.
Come on.
Especially to thick mist. Also, if it's talking about liquid, it's a dark color, not clear. And the third definition, which I think really sums it up, is not fully explained or understood, especially when concealed, dishonesty, or immortality.
See? And listen what 13 says, nobles. It gives men apples that are lovely to the eye. That are lovely to the eye. We're talking about carnal still. So when we go over this, when we go over this more Quran, this is for us to check yourself. The higher self is the embodiment of truth. The higher self is the embodiment of truth. Come on, man. The lower self is an illusion and will pass away. The lower self, the carnal self, everything that's dealing with lower, dealing with the physical or the exo, not the eso, but the exo. Those personal desires. When we talk about that higher self, when we operate in our station, the higher self is human spirit clothed with soul. That's why we practice. That's why we practice. This is what we practice. We practice to be successful in life. We practice to be great nobles in our relationships with our empress and what we choose to go under. We practice those things. Proceed, noble. Let's go to the next part.
If you would ask me what to study, I would say yourselves. And when you have well studied them, and then you would ask me what to study next, I would reply yourselves. He who knows well his lower self knows the illusions of the world, knows of those things that pass away. And he who knows his higher self knows Allah, knows well the things that cannot pass away. Thrice blessed is the man who has made purity of love his very own. He has been ransomed from the perils of the lower self and is himself his higher self.
Man, can you go back to the first word, Noble? What did that say in 16?
Right.
Huh?
Right.
Thrice, right?
Thrice. Yep. 3 times.
Oh, man. Come on, Noble. Huh?
Yeah.
Come on, man. Like, that's why I be saying the divine comes first. Man, this is the stuff that give you chills. We talk about the Holy Spirit. When 2 or more gather, there I am. I don't understand these boards. We have a holy book and you don't study your holy book consistently, daily, over and over. That's an issue with me. Proceed, Noble.
Men seek salvation from an evil they deem a living monster of the netherworld. And they have gods that are but demons in disguise, all powerful, yet full of jealousy and hate and lust, whose favors must be bought with costly sacrifice of fruits and of the lives of birds and animals and humankind.
Can I go back to 17, Noble? Because it's something powerful in 17. It says salvation from an evil that they deem a living monster of the netherworld. And listen to this. And they have gods that are but demons in disguise, all powerful. That's when I want to say all powerful, because if a person was coming to you with all B to the S, no way you will fall for it, right?
Right.
Think about this. It's pleasing to the eye. That's the lower self. When people be talking about all these other brothers that's scamming, the reason why you can get scammed because you look like a deer in the headlights.
Islam.
You got scam all over you. But yet full of jealousy and hate and lust. When you're full of jealousy and hate and lust, when you say this is universal, when a person that really do that say, okay, well, boom, 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 and you can be proved dishonest in all your doings. 18. Proceed, Noble.
And yet these gods possess no ears to hear, no eyes to see, no heart to sympathize, no power to save. The evil is a myth. These gods are made of air, clothed with shadows of a thought. The only devil from which men must be redeemed is self. The lower self. If man to find his devil, he must look within. His name is self.
Noble, that's powerful. This is our teaching. This is what our teaching said. You looking all other, trying to find goofy memes to fit their goofy ways. All is trying to find words. And I say, man, you dealing with a linguistic. You looking for something outside, and you need to check that yourself. It says it in the teachings. The only devil from which men must be redeemed is self, the lower self. It didn't say a part of you is evil. It said the part that must be what, Noble? Redeemed, right?
Redeemed.
See? We're talking about a part of you must die. I ain't said a part of you must die. I understand the analogy in that, but I'm talking about redeemed. When you have that balance, because we understand that pendulum. And in this science, the pendulum should swing the same way to the left as it does to the right. If we operate 720, we can't cut part of our 360 off.
That's the part that helps you experience certain things.
Come on, Noble. That's the discernment. That's the application. That's the applied mathematics. How you gonna know something real if you ain't applied it? How you know? Come on, man. That's why right on the cover of the Exuberant of the Nation, it says on the way out the fire is what? You have to went through it. We ain't talking about nobody that just want to dissect the frog or talk about it and then giving them the knife like I always use. They are not gonna get in that blood. Proceed, Noble.
If man would find his savior, he must look within. And when the demon self has been dethroned, the savior, love, will be exalted to the throne of power. The David of the light is purity, who slays the strong Goliath of the dark and seats the savior, love, upon the throne.
Islam. We're in chapter 4.
Chapter 4.
Hey, no, but you see how when I be telling Moors, man, when they don't apply the teachings, and the teachings is so simple, I prophet wrote a compilation. A compilation. How many pages is the Quran, Noble? But I'm saying it's not that many. I'm not acting like that, but it's not that many in it.
I don't have a hand on it. Yeah.
Okay. That few pages, more should know that Quran from back and forth. We should know, we should understand it. We should be breaking it down. We should be teaching that to fact check everything, how people be coming with other understandings instead of the divine. Because everything else is law. And it's only one law. You can't arbitrarily explain nothing, man.
Islam.
Let's jump into it. Chapter 4.
Chapter 4, Death and Burial of Elizabeth, Matheno's Lessons, the Ministry of Death. When John was 12 years old, his mother died, and neighbors laid her body in a tomb amongst her kindred in the Hebron burying ground and near to Zachariah's tomb. And John was deeply grieved. He wept. Matheno said, "It is not well to weep because of death. Death is no enemy of man. It is a friend who, when the work of life is done, just cuts the cord that binds the human boat to earth, that it may sail on smoother seas. No language can describe a mother's worth, and yours was tried and true. But she was not called hence until her tasks were done. The cause of death are always for the best, for we are solving problems there as well as here. And one is sure to find himself where he can solve his problems best. It is but selfishness that make one wish to call again to earth departed souls. Then let your mother rest in peace. Just let her noble life be strength and inspiration unto you. A crisis in your life has come, and you must have a clear conception of the work that you are called to do. The sages of the ages call you harbinger. The prophets look at you and say, he is Elijah come again. Your mission here is that of harbinger, for you will go before the Messiah's face to pave his way and make the people ready to receive their king. This readiness is purity of heart. None but the pure in heart can recognize the king. To teach men to be pure in heart, you must yourself be pure in heart and word and deed. Now, see, that's powerful. When we talk about that owl magic, when I say the reason why they want to act like the owl is evil or try to remember, everybody take the good for bad, because the owl know what's going on day and night. It'll come on your shoulder. You won't know. Them big old wings fly right down on your shoulder, turn around, the owl is right there.
Who?
Huh?
I said, who?
I mean, real seriousness. It got to be pure. How you gonna say you love or you gonna teach somebody love and you don't exhume love? And everybody that deal with you, your family, the people that you are dead, is nothing but love. You got to exhume love. That's what that's about. Go ahead, Noble. No, that's it, right?
No, I still got
a
few more verses.
In infancy, the vow for you was made, and you became a Nazarite. Mm-hmm. The razor shall not touch your face nor head, and you shall take not wine nor fiery drinks. Noble, say what you read. In the infancy, the vow for you was made, and you became a Nazarite. This pestilent brother is a ringleader of the Nazarites. In our exhumer of the nation, who called the Nazarite? Who answered that Nazarite call to build so-called Solomon's temple? Who? Come on. No, who? Somebody said it.
No, King of Time.
Who said it? Somebody just said it. You damn right. It's in your teachings in masonry. It teaches. It teaches that. Who? Come on, Islam Solomon. Point blank. So I don't know what these Moors be talking about. This and masonry, some white man. How? Where are you studying from? Albert Churchward from Signs and Symbols. His teacher was a Moor. They'll tell you. So it's telling you right here, in the infancy, the vow for you was made, and you became a Nazarite. Oh, you ain't reading your teachers, huh? Now, when we get to the part, now I got to be technical on this part. The razor shall not touch your face nor head, and you shall taste not wine nor fiery drinks. Now, when we break that down, when we talk about razor to touch your head, you shouldn't be scalping the thing. I ain't saying you walk around with your head looking all crazy and you got spots and you going to listen to something and say, well, I'm because of this. No, man. I'm not telling you that. I'm telling you to be logical. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because if that's the case, to be Moors, we wear our fez, and that's simple. And I don't care what you got on your face. I don't give a damn if you got a beard, clean freaking face, Fu Manchu. That don't got no different with me. But you should have your fez. Islam. Taste not wine nor fiery drinks. But in the biblical scriptures, they say water was turned to wine. So we can fact check a lot of things per se. Nothing wrong with what brother's saying, but what they use an analogy of being pure in all your dwellings, and don't let none that get you under the intoxication where you can't be who you are 24 hours. And don't give you up your birthright for somebody else. Understand what I'm saying? When somebody say, well, how you look, or if somebody say, hey, Noble Malik, your beard ugly, I'm gonna cut my beard off. They like, he's stupid. Nah, they got a beard. I'm just making it literal.
Copy you.
Come on, man. Proceed, Noble.
I had a question. I don't want to guess when they say fiery drinks.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm thinking,
I was trying to think of, okay, what would really be considered a fiery drink? You know, a specialty drink, or
No, but y'all got your IDMR book. Go right to alcoholism and IDMR. Go right to alcohol. See, this is why I love class. And your IDMR and your text is gonna tell you. Anything can be fiery that's gonna have you operate outside yourself. That ingesting you and change you. I ain't saying what it is. I don't say how it is, but anything can be a fire. Anything that you can ingest and turns you from what you are, yes, it make you Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Yeah, consider that. Islam.
Number 14. Men need a pattern for their lives. They love to follow, not to. The man who stands upon the corners of the path, the way, but does not go, is just a pointer, and a block of wood can. The teacher treads the way. On every span of ground, he leaves his footprints clearly cut, which all can see and be assured that he, their master, went that way. Men comprehend the inner life, what they see and do. They come to Allah through ceremonies and forms. And so, you would make men know that the sins are washed away, but by purity, a rite symbolic might be introduced. In water, wash the bodies of the people who would turn away from sin and strive for purity in life. This rite of cleansing is a preparation rite, and they who thus are cleansed comprise the temple of purity. And you shall say, you men of Israel, hear, reform, and wash, become the sons of purity, and you shall be forgiven. The rite of cleansing and this temple are but symbolic of the cleansing of the soul, which does not come from outward show, but is this temple within. Now you may never point the way and tell the multitudes to do what you have never done, but you must go before and show the way. You are to teach that men must wash, so you must lead the way. Your body must be washed, symbolic of the cleansing of the soul. John said, why need I wait? May I not go at once and wash? Matheno said, 'tis well. And they went down to the Jordan ford and east of Jericho, just where the host of Israel crossed. When first they entered Canaan, they tarried for a time. Matheno taught the harbinger, and he explained to him the inner meaning of the cleansing rite and how to wash himself and how to wash the multitude. Now, in Getty's Hills, Matheno's work was done. He and John went down to Egypt. They rested not until they reached the temple of Saqqara in the valley of the Nile. For many years, Matheno was a master in the temple of the Brotherhood. And when he told about the life of John and his mission to the sons of men, the Hierophant with joy received the harbinger, and he was called the Brother Nazarite. For 18 years, John lived and wrought within these temple gates. And here he conquered self, became a mastermind, and learned the duties of a harbinger.
Conquer self, right?
Islam.
Right in your, can you pull up, and don't the Koranic study guide synchronize with that? Our Koranic study guide, we ain't even got to pull it up because the Koranic study guide is exactly what it is, right?
Islam.
It's like the teacher's manual. You must have these keys, the Koranic study guide, the SO workbook, discover key questionnaires, catechism to understand the Quran, everything that we teach, and become a student of this. It's nothing wrong with being initiated mentally and becoming an adapt thinker. It's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with it. And so, like I said, we connected that. We got it. It's only 34 minutes. It's Sunday school. Isn't it beautiful how we can pull ourselves out in truth? Because they say truth and falsehood is strangely mixed. So then we must discern truth from falsehood, no matter what form it comes in, right? Okay. Okay. So we about to teach, man. You can take that off, Noble. We about to jump. I'm about to jump right in the teaching that we have. I challenge y'all to read it again. I know y'all got it PDF because I sent it to you. I sent it to Noble's PDF. So I spotlight everyone. So we're gonna jump in a little bit. Y'all got the book, The Black Man, right? The Father of Civilization, proved by the Bible, right? I said y'all had that book, I'm sure, right?
Yeah.
You gotta jump in that. These when I recommend things, it's gonna start connecting things. When you just want to deal with some things that you can prove, if they're gonna tell a biblical story, if they're gonna rewrite history, just like if someone is gonna talk about the New Testament from a, no disrespect, a European or a Flavius Joseph perspective, then we can prove from scholarship, not no religious dogma, that's hogwash. And Flavius Joseph has changed his name and implemented his whole families in that. And all those wars is pseudo. We can prove that in academia. I did it in college. So we can fact check that. And no matter how a person feel, Islam, I challenge y'all to read that document as well. It'll change your mind. Once you read that, we're gonna have a lot of discussions. I guarantee you. So let's jump into a little bit of this science, man. I want to deal with the preface of the science as well. When you look at things, when you look at people back in the day, you be like, these people wasn't Europeans. They might have been how can I say, Masso's you, but these was so-called Africans, so-called Moors. So I'm gonna give a little bit of this science. I'm gonna give just thoroughly what he's saying. Thirdly, to appreciate my argument, the reader had best have a Bible at his fingertips so as to examine my references and compare them with my statements, the same thing I say, which I make wholly and solely upon the authorities found in the Bible, which in turn is the real and only authority on ancient history. Again, my authority is not inspired in the slightest degree with malice or hatred for the white race. This is his words. This is J.M. Webb's words. My profession as a minister of the gospel of Jesus Christ would not permit me to defend in the name of justice, harboring malice and hatred or any ill feeling toward my white brethren. I am acting with a meek and humble spirit and with a gigantic pride in my race, which I hope pleases God. Islam? Look at the author. This is what he look like. I mean, come on, man. Let's jump with it. He got Booker T. Washington right in the front. It's gonna be a good teacher, man. He got so-called Abraham Lincoln, Frederick Douglass, showing you great people. And he was showing you three of the greatest men in America. This is his words. Frederick Douglass, the thunderbolt, whose mighty peals of thunder awoke the symphony of the Christian men and women of the country in behalf of his enslaved and suffering people. Abraham Lincoln, the flash of lightning, who, like a streak of lightning from heaven, giving hope to black people, struck the shackles from their hands and left them lying shattered at their feet. Booker T. Washington, who is nobly directing a never to be forgotten battle for the moral and industrial education which Douglass and Lincoln made it possible for them to obtain. This is the writer. Now let's jump into this, man. Islam? Sunday school. Let's get an introduction. The Bible gives the first and only true account of the origin of mankind. It is the only book containing an accurate record of the progress of man towards civilization. And it is the indisputable reference of all searches after the real facts of the birth of humanity and its progress towards the civilization of today. Beginning with his creation, it is the only authentic record of man. Authentic because it is the first hand, not a copy of something else or scientific or literary review, but a dispassionate record of man's creation and progress, untrimmed, unshaped, and unvarnished, to suit prejudice. It would not be a complete record if it did not show with the rest of the origin of the black man, and woe for all these pinnacle thieves. It shows that he, the black man, is the father of civilization. The black man has been misrepresented by prejudiced historians and lecturers. It has been, and is now quoted, that Ham, the father of the black man, was cursed by his father Noah. Now in regard to this incident, let us take the biblical record for it. And anyone not totally blind with prejudice will be convinced by reading in the book of Genesis, the 9th chapter, from the 20th to the 27th verse, inclusive, that Noah did not, for he could not curse Ham, although he did in a fit of intoxication pronounce a curse on Canaan, the son of Ham. But in passing, I might mention that Canaan was never inconvenienced by no curse of Ham. Why? Because he was the father of 7 prosperous nations. Foremost among them were the Canaanites, Phoenicians, and Sidonians. The Sidonians sprang from Sidon, who was the first sons of Canaan, according to your biblical scriptures in Genesis chapter 10, verses 15. These same Sidonians are the men descended from black men, whom Solomon ordered Hiram of Tyre to engage to do the skilled hewing and designing of the timber work on Solomon's temple. Solomon declaring these Sidonians, black men, were the only men possessed with anywhere near sufficient skills to take charge of and successfully complete the artistic timber work on Solomon's temple. 1 Kings, the 5th chapter, 6th verse, speaks very plainly of this fact, Moors. Solomon knew that the black race was a superior, not an inferior race. He married Pharaoh's daughter. Read 1 Kings, 3rd chapter, the 1st verse, the 7th chapter, the 8th verse, and also the 9th chapter and the 16th verse. Solomon's wife might have been of dark skin or even as black as he was. For history shows that Egypt had 2 full-blooded Ethiopian pharaohs just before and during the reign of Solomon, according to the European Herodotus. The names of these 2 Ethiopians, aka Abyssinians, were Sabaco, S-A-B-A-C-O, or nobles Sabikos, S-E-B-I-C-H-O-S, and Sitos, S-E-T-H-O-S. So Solomon surely got an Ethiopian, Negro, or black woman for a wife. This naturally increased the proportion of the Negro blood in the veins of the future king of the Jews. Viewing the progress of the immediate descendants of Ham, we learn that a curse laid upon one by a mortal of that day was as foolish and ineffective as it is today. The story about this curse, also the story of the black man who contended that a black skin and woolly hair is a disgrace, has, according to the Bible, no foundation. And speaking of black skin, Moors, the greatest brain work and wisdom ever given to this world was given by men of that so-called black skin, or at least in whose veins the greatest portion of the blood was Ethiopian or Negro. And as to the assertion and King Solomon, when you see the Songs of Solomon, the 1st chapter, the 6th verse, what do it says? Solomon's dark skin should cause no surprise because his mother, the Hittite, was also the widow of Uriah. See 2 Samuel, the 12th chapter, the 9th and the 10th verse. The Hittites are the descendants of Heth, and Heth was the 2nd son of Canaan. When you read Genesis, the 10th chapter and the 15th verse. And as to the so-called woolly hair, Jesus, the blessed Savior of mankind, will have his head covered with woolly hair when he comes to judge the world. Daniel, the 7th chapter, the 9th and the 10th verse. And if Daniel's prophecy is true, when Christ left the earth, he had woolly hair. He naturally will return with woolly hair. And the pictures of him today are erroneous. They're just not real by the so-called artists. And the grand old book, the Bible, does not show that God ever turned a man black to disgrace him for his sins or anything else. But that same Bible does show that God's power did turn a man white to disgrace him because of his sins. It said that his seed would be likewise forever. Facts are stubborn things and often very disagreeable, sometimes even sickening. And by reading carefully, Moors, the 5th chapter of the 2nd Kings, the 25th, the 26th, and the 27th verses, Moors. Many of our highly civilized brethren, whose ancient ancestors disgraced them, will suffer an alarming fit of nausea. I promise you that. When we study these scriptures, when we research the science, the black man, I boldly assert, was the father of civilization, born in the land of Egypt, and the different branches of science and art were simply transmitted to other races, which, as the ages have rolled by, have only began, enlarged, to some extent improved upon. Even the modern American Negro has proven that he is original. For instance, Moors, as a tonsorial artist, he has no superiors, and no Negro was ever known to enter a barber college. When you look at all those styles, when I show you the pictures of their hair, they ain't go to no barber college. This is something that's in us. We inherit the sweetest musical voices. If you heard a misnomer Negro quartet or choir after they arranged the harmony, we know this. Blind Tom, Blind Boom, that displayed these natural abilities from within. God honored the misnomer black man by allowing some of his Ethiopian Abyssinian blood to flow in the veins of his son, which they call Jesus the Christ. And I unhesitantly assert that Jesus in America be classified a Negro. And I make the assertion only on the authority of the Bible, according to which Jesus was born out of the tribe of Judah. Judah had only 5 children, and they were males. Read in 1 Chronicles, 2nd chapter, and the 4th verse. Read your Bible. 3 by his first wife, and 2 by his second. That's why our Moors be talking about throw something away. Why are you gonna throw away your evidence? That don't even make sense. I hope you're listening. Moors just want something goofy. 3 by his first wife, and 2 by his second wife. 1 Chronicles, 2nd chapter, 3rd and 4th verse. And both of his wives were the descendants of Canaan, a black man who was the son of Ham. Read Genesis, the 10th chapter, the 6th verse. Tamar, Judah's second wife. We talk about Ruth the Moabitess and all that. Come on, man. Bore him 2 of these sons, whose name were Phares and Zerah. When you would see Moors make books, Ruth the Moabitess, and then start dissing everything. I said, y'all are freaking retarded. And got the nerve, I'm a grand sheep, but you make books about Ruth the Moabitess. I said, well, where are they from? Where the bloodline? We're talking biblical. It's crazy that Moors are diss anything. This is an understanding. This is a synchronicity. You know? No trouble to see that Judah, of whom Christ was to come, started out by presenting the world children of Canaanite women who were Hamite descendants. And then when we talk about, if we're going to talk about the story, let's explain the story. Explain the story. Don't let nobody control the narrative. Read for yourself. If we want to talk about the so-called Mary, of whom Christ was born, was beyond all doubt a woman out the tribe of Judah, and every Bible reference proclaims that Jesus was to spring from the tribe of Judah. Don't it say that? Huh? Okay. Genesis 49 and 10, Hebrews 7 and 14, Revelations 5 and 5. Our beloved St. Paul in Romans 1 and 3. It says Jesus was of the seed of David. Aren't we from the tribe of Judah, lineage of David by blood? Aren't we, Brian, as Moors? Huh? Okay, so what they talking about, Brian? I mean, come on. You should be appalled. You should be appalled of any more coming with that goofy stuff. How you trying to say that you for the father of civilization and you can't prove who you are in all the books, but you gonna disconnect yourself from something? Are you crazy? Our prophet didn't disconnect, he synchronized it. I'm saying the same thing, but in different synonyms. I said we from the tribe of Judah, lineage of David by blood, didn't I?
Yep.
And I go get my paperwork from the temple. And so I just said right here that Jesus was of the seed of David according to the flesh. Didn't I just say the same thing?
Yeah.
Okay. David is the 10th man named from Judah, right? In the genealogy of Christ, Matthew, the 1st chapter, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th verse. Added to this, David's great grandfather, Booz, was born of the woman Rahab, who was a direct descendant of Ham. Matthew, the 1st chapter, the 5th verse. And this also shows that David, one of God's greatest soldiers, was one who most successfully led his people and one who had Negro blood in his veins. Bible history is full of honors of the misnomer black man. Jethro, the Ethiopian or Negro father-in-law of Moses, who was the author, who first employed that, which is today our judicial system, but we know that comes from Mayat. I'm just explaining the story to y'all. Considerably twisted and revised to meet the changing conditions of civilization. Exodus, the 18th chapter. This chapter tells of Jethro's visit to Moses and how he gave Moses the foundation of what is today the system of grading courts for pronouncing judgments. But we know that comes from Mayat. We know this. That's why if you're going to say something fake, where did they get it from? We're going to keep breaking it down and pulling ourselves out the bosom. Again, Moses, the Hebrew emancipator, was named by a black woman, Pharaoh's daughter. She said she called him Moses because she drew him out of the water. Exodus 2:10. And besides, black men educated Moses, and at any rate, he received what education he had in schools of the misnomer black people of Egypt. Acts, the 7th chapter. So there is nothing remarkable in the fact when we talk about Booker T. Washington, even if you don't like W.E.B. Du Bois, even if you never heard of Scarborough and many other misnomer Negro or misnomer blacks that did great things, even if we didn't know about that. So now, we on good time. Now we're going to get into a little history. They talk about traditions of antiquity, and they talk about, remember Memphis and Mizraim in the biblical scriptures, Memphis and Mizraim. And understand a lot of this stuff was here. Man, I wish I do got my map. I do got my map. So y'all get a little treat. This come from the museum, the ground plan for Louisiana Purchase. And if you can see right here, you see Morocco and you see Jerusalem right next to each other. Can you see it?
Islam.
Can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you see what's up at? You see the south is up top, right? North is at the bottom, right?
Yeah.
On the compass.
Everything was here. I'll break that down another time. The ground plans of the Louisiana Purchase, 1904. And you see Jerusalem right walking distance of Morocco. Check.
Doesn't have a question?
Yep.
Because then when you talk about the Sundry Moors Act, in there it talks about how they were traveling from Morocco.
Come on, Noble.
To the United States.
Come on, Noble.
And the United States at that time would have just been the 13 colonies along the eastern border of the United States.
Come on, Noble.
They was traveling from, the Chicago, Illinois, over to, present day.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's all they was doing.
Yes, sir.
Trying to be reclassified. Like, no, I told you, you got the right. And the courts agree with like, whoa, we telling you who we are. We telling you. We showing you. You feel me?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yep. And early queen of Egypt was a descendant of the Ethiopian or Negro race. This is conceded by some of the modern writers, some of them going so far as to say her skin was very black. And a few of them acknowledge that it was this black queen who first placed the first fleet of warships on the River Nile. They have no doubt traced this woman back to where they are satisfied that she was descended in a direct lineal line from Zipporah, the black and Ethiopian wife of Moses. And we read very little of these two women because modern writers, even your brothers today, they hide them. Even your preachers, they don't talk about them. Why? Because if they do, they must give credit to us or the misnomer black man, the Moor. In connection, I don't speak on biblical history alone. Were it not for the fact that the dimensions of this science, we can be extended far beyond what is intended. The writer says he can go on and deal with Hannibal, when them brothers came up with that video, talk about some hidden colors, no disrespect, because this is what people sent me, was like, Sheik, why people buying this video for propaganda and you lecture this as a scholar? She was like, oh, I guess people stupid. When I've been lectured that Africa ain't named after no European, that's the abdomen, after he got done defeating the African general. See, this is too simple. The Cardigan general, and recorded the accomplishments of the black men without even going far back in long distance of time. Alexander Dumas, Toussaint Overture, Alexander Servant, Pushkin, the Russian poet, or more, the Russo-African poet. Yes, you could talk about going to the Republic and begin with Crispus Atticus or Alexander Hamilton. All through these histories, man, of great people of so-called color. You know what I mean? L. Cheney, at San Juan Hill. So, the truth is that in terms, Morris, and I quote from the scholarship, the truth is that in terms, Caucasian has little or no meaning as it is now used. The word itself is a conventional term given at the first by Bloomback. When you research who Bloomback is, this is pseudo-academia. Bloomback, just like that fake eugenics crap. Bloomback, to designate what he considered the highest type of the human family, shown by a skull from Mount Caucasus. And when we attempt to trace those who would claim the name as an expression of their superiority, we find this type has disappeared, Moors. There is no pure specimen now in existence. And if we ask what is white, we can only say that is a term used to designate the absence of color. That's all. And no sign whatever of race integrity. And we already indicated that science and investigation points to the fact that primitive man was not white. Because when you deal with the color spectrum, how'd the color spectrum go, y'all? From what to what?
Dark to light.
Okay. All right. And it's not new. But it seemed convenient for the Saxon to let it rest as much as possible in discreet oblivion. When we research old bishops like Bishop H.M. Turner of the African Methodist Episcopal Church, when he promulgated all this stuff, the word today are only a reflux leprosy, and that the natural color is brown or black. That's what the writer said. He promulgated it in his writings. And Moncure D. Conway has also declared, research these people, that the white people of the world today are only a reflux leprosy, and that the natural color is brown or black. This was writing then. So don't get mad at me. We almost done. The second chapter. God but faintly revealed the puzzle of civilization to Noah and his three sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Genesis, the 9th chapter, first 7 verses. And it became their duty to start the work of the first moves of the puzzle, as well as to create nations. He who will begin from the first moves and works the matter out to perfection. Ham, the father of the black man, located in Africa. Africa was his homestead, to speak. David, the psalmist, credited Ham with this territory in the 105th Psalms, 23rd and 27th verse, and also in 106 Psalms, the 22nd verse. And if that's not true, and we reject it on the ground of not being sufficient proof of the black man's first and original home, we can on quite as good ground reject any and every other part of the Bible. For what I here state is no wild imagination, but facts taken from the Bible. Cush, Mizraim. Mizraim is Egypt. I hope y'all know that. Mizraim, Put, Canaan were the first sons of Ham. Genesis, the 10th chapter, 6th verse. And these 4 sons included Nimrod, the grandson of Ham, were the first to start the work on the problem of civilization. And in a word, they were the pioneers and the very pillars of civilized governments. But we know where that comes from. Cush, located in South Egypt on the river Nile. He became the father of the Ethiopians as well as the father of the Cushites through Nimrod, who located on the southern part of the Euphrates River. It is to be remembered that Nimrod is the founder of the Babylonian king in Genesis, the 10th chapter, the 10th verse. Mizraim, located on the upper part of the river Nile, and he became the father of the Egyptians. Put, located in the northern part of Africa. Canaan, located in the land known as the Old Palestine country, which is modern Turkey. Canaan became the father of the Canaanites when you read in Genesis, the 10th chapter, the 15th, 16th, 17th, 19th verse. And according to the Bible, and in that exact location of the first sons of Ham. And the question which naturally flows is, was civilization born in the land and given birth by Ham, first offspring? It is conceded by John Clark Ridath, Ridpath, and a few other writers on ancient history that the Egyptians were the fathers of civilization, according to the chronology of Matthew. We just was reading this, y'all, in our teachings, in our Quran, an Egyptian priest. Right, nobles?
Right.
Okay. Egypt was founded in the year BC 380, 3829, and Menes was the first mortal king. The all-important question now arises, were the Egyptians descendants of black men, or were they the descendants of white men? Were they descendants of Ham or Shem? It is well known that students claim to be divided in their opinion as to the original stock for which the ancient Egyptians came. Ritpath, and among others, say they were neither Semitic nor Negro, but concludes his remarks on the origin of the Egyptians by saying that the ancient Egyptians were considered a branch of that part of the Cushite family, which settled in Asia. You see how they just contradicted themselves? Are you listening?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's how you can check people when they be double talking. And a lot of our people, they're not going to come in with me with that crap. Probably the little matter of the Cushites being the grandchildren of Ham slipped Ritpath's mind. Else his statement would not have been so conflicting, because he just says that they were not Negroes, but ends his argument by saying that they were a branch of the Cushite family of Asia. This should be. I hope y'all. Yeah. And it required no research to establish the fact that Cush was the father of all Cushite nations. He was also the first son of Ham, when you read in Genesis, the 10th chapter, the 6th verse. And if the Ethiopians and all had other Cushite nations who sprang from the first son of Ham were not Negroes, will some of our historians omit the word probably so much used by them and say what they were? It is fair to assume that with their boasted intelligence and superior brain, like they say some Caucasus Mountains, by this time they would have been able to search out and connect at least some of the many facts and plain, indisputable records in the Bible, which leaves no room for doubt or probability. We learn from the Bible that Ham is the father of the African family. The Ethiopian is the dark or blackest tribe of the Hamites. Cush was the founder of the father of this tribe. Moses selected his wife from this black or Ethiopian tribe. When you read in Numbers, the 12th chapter, the 1st verse, it must be plain to anyone who will read the parts that I'm telling you in the Bible that this person Ritpath's contention that the Egyptians sprang from the Cushites was the wrong avenue to escape the blood of the Negro. We talk about the blood, or their relation to the black man's family. And I believe that Ritpath wrote in good faith, for the majority of the historical writers claim that the Egyptians descended from a white race. Notwithstanding, they admit that the Old Testament gives the truest and the most complete and reliable record on the origin of the Egyptians of any book, just like the Book of Mormon, just like when Khalid Muhammad destroyed the European, no disrespect. Just like when you can research Dr. Ben, showing you all in the biblical scriptures. It's prejudice. The Bible contains the only authentic and certainly the most ancient record for not only the Egyptians, but all mankind. And we will prove it that the Egyptians, Hamites, sprang from Mizraim, which is Egypt. We are almost there. According to Biblical Gazette, the Biblical Gazette is just like the Hebrew lexicon. The word Egypt is derived from the word Mizraim, and the word Mizraim was the name of one of the first sons of Ham. Read Genesis, the 10th chapter, the 6th verse. By the word Egypt being coined from the word Mizraim, it strengthens the understanding that the Egyptian was descended from the misnomer black man. And you can dig down further into the rich earth and for proof, for more enlightenment out of the book of truth by viewing the ancient Bible map. It's any Bible, I don't care which version you got. Get that Bible map of Africa and Asia. And the map can be found in any back of the New Testament. And one can readily pick out the spots upon which Shem, Ham, and Japhet located. You can't let nobody get you with those goofy story. One was white man, stop with the same mom and dad. They playing y'all. Not y'all, but I'm just using that as a narrative. You will notice that.
Question, Noble.
Yes, sir.
But also, aren't some of these people representing an entire nation as well?
Yep. Noble, come on. Families make tribes. Tribes make nations. Right?
Indeed.
Okay. The second son of Ham and the accredited father of the Egyptians located on the very spot, so to speak, Moors, where the great city of Memphis was built by means the first king of Egypt. Again, you will notice that all the names within Africa borders are names of the son of Ham, Shem, and his offsprings located in Asia. And perhaps a better way to locate Ham, Shem, and Japhet and their first offsprings is first to read the 10th and 11th chapters of Genesis, then locate their names on the map, and it will be seen that not a Shemite or a white man, no disrespect, originally located in Africa. All of the white men located in Asia, and according to the Bible, white men never began to travel in Africa until Abraham's time, BC 1921. Period. The Egyptians lived in a high state of civilization almost 2,000 years before Abraham first visited Egypt, and the appearance of white people was a curiosity to black people. Abraham realized this fact and commanded his wife to represent herself as his sister. Remember? Because, as he said, she was fair to look upon. White. Genesis, the 12th chapter, 11th, 12th, and 13th verse. And this would indicate that the Egyptians were not white. And I will say, without fear of my assertion being disproven, that until after the time of Abraham, the Egyptians were a Simon pure black race, because in the beginning, everything was black. That's my quote. Shortly after Abraham's visit, the Shemitic or the white travelers began to pour into Egypt to such an extent that the Egyptians began to intermarry or graft with them. And of course, this intermarrying has an effect on contaminating the pure Negro blood. And this intermarrying was the cause of the black man's or full-blooded Egyptian losing the power and controlling the kingdom. Just like the daughters of American Revolution. You know, don't the son do the bidding of the mother? Okay. In other words, this is the loop through which the shepherd or the white or the Shemitic king slipped through and took possession of the Egyptian kingdom. Don't get mad at me. I'm reading the text. You can read this for yourself. So I wanted y'all to just get a part of that, because that's what it's all about, man. Look at one of the best, look, this African poet nobody probably never heard about there, and a lot of people tried to pass him for a different you. No, this is a brother, man. Let me read this. Let me read him. Henry O. Tanner, the world's famous Afro-American artist. Henry O. Tanner is the world's famous African-American artist. He is the oldest son of Bishop Tanner of the AME Church. He was born in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, but was trained in the public schools of Philadelphia, to which place his parents moved soon after his birth. His first steps in his life work were taken in the art schools of Philadelphia, from which training he went to Paris, where his genius developed and flowered in the studies of Benjamin Constant and Julian. In 1895, his Sabbath maker was shown in the Salon exhibit and received friendly treatment from the French critics. Frenchmen, as a ruler, are not too favorably inclined to the works of foreigners, and their appreciation of Tanner is truly significant of the real value to this work a merit which puts it beyond the limitations of race and country. In 1896, he exhibited Daniel in the Lion's Den, the first of a line of religious works with which his fame has been since connected. This picture received honorable mention from the French jury and was bought by the Pennsylvania Academy. Mr. Tanner picture, The Two Disciples and the Tomb, was purchased by the Chicago Art Institute for $1,600. Islam? I'll show y'all one more picture.
You know, them Frenchmen, they give honors to melanation people. Even what's the name? Mumia Abu Jamal. They the only ones that actually honored Mumia Abu Jamal. Here in the States, the French, they named a step after him.
Yep.
And Alexander Dumas, he was a Frenchman. He was melanated.
Yep. Y'all see that? Y'all see St. Mark?
Yeah.
Watch this.
Melanated.
Watch this. I'm finna read something to y'all and we out of here. I'm finna show y'all a picture. I told when I was getting my degree at GCU, man, I was able to go to all them Greek museums and go in the back as a scholar, man. I got so many books. I got like that Russian icon book by Vladimir Ivanov, how they whitewash history. I got all that stuff from the universities and old European professors that respected my scholarship. I got that book, Forgotten Cause of the Civil War, off from my academia studies. You know what I mean? So when I be speaking from truth, like your own brother gonna lie to you because they getting paid. Look at this picture. I'm gonna show y'all another picture. Then I'm gonna show y'all another. You're gonna be like, what? Look at the noses on these people. When you get it, when I show y'all this up close, when I post these, you're gonna be like, wow. But the real picture I want to show you, because all this stuff is in their museums. I want to show you. Let me find it. And we out of here. Remember, y'all, Russian icona in 1st century. When I break down the book of Barak, all them pictures, all of them, the reason why they say it ain't canon, because all the pictures and everything that they wrote, they can't deny what it looked like. So they're gonna say it ain't canon to make it easy for you not to look at it or even research it. This one, I'm trying to find it. Let me find this beautiful one, man, of the Tetrarchs. I should have put a pencil in it, man. Where are you? The more of the Tetrarchs, where are you? Give me a second, man. I gotta find it. I just want to show this because this is nice. And I want to read it to you. I don't want to hold y'all up. I know it's Sunday. I'm sorry, I should have put a pencil in it and saved it, but just bear with me for 1 second. I want to show y'all this. We only 1 minute, an hour and 13 minutes, so we good. Let me find this for y'all, Morris. Did y'all learn something today, man?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Come on, man. We here to learn and make ourselves better. Let me find this picture for y'all, man. I apologize. And I usually be having I drop the book trying to rush downstairs. And my marker that flew out because I didn't want to write in this book. And you might be able, I think this book is still available. I got it from here it go. I got it from them at the Catholic Church. Look this, see, can you find this book, Nose? If you can, you want it. You want it. So
I was looking for it on Amazon. They don't really have, they have various versions of it, but it don't look like that.
Nope. I got this directly from them as a gift.
It has like other versions of it.
Yeah. So look at this. You see that picture? Wait, let me see. I know it's kind of blurry. You see that right there?
Yeah.
They got feathers on it, but they tried to pop the noses off. I'm finna read it to y'all. Porphyry sculpture originating from Constantinople, the Tetrarchs, or Moors, 4th century Egyptian art. And they got on fezzes. And they got on fezzes. When you look, and you can pull it up. You can, if you can pull it up, they got on fezzes and everything. And when you pull the camera up on close, you be like, man, these look like real people. Yeah.
What's the name of the statue again?
It's the Tetrarchs or Moors, the 4th century Egyptian art. Sculpture it's the sculpture originating from Constantinople. Moors. Remember in history, man, everybody don't have big noses and big lips. I ain't saying that don't show your African, your background, lineage, all that. But you got to understand, everybody don't have the same type of hair. They don't. We got to be bigger than that. And most Moors ain't even been across the globe. And then ain't even been to certain parts in the continent of Africa where you see people dark as us with blue eyes, with straight blonde hair. I'll show you. I don't know what we be tripping on.
That good old albinism.
Come on.
Comes from us.
So gratitude, man. Thanks for everybody that donated. Everybody that donated on Cash App, $ KGB. I give gratitude, man. Any questions, Morris?
Oh, yeah. What was it? How you spell that? Tetrarch?
Yep. Oh, damn. Hold on. Let me get you this right spelling, though, bro. I'm sorry. I closed the book and everything. Like, whoop, I thought you had it. It's Tetrarchs or Moors. 4th century Egyptian art. It's the Porphyry sculpture originating from Constantinople. Porphyry sculpture originating from Constantinople. The Tetrarchs or Moors. 4th century Egyptian art.
Gratitude.
Nobles, when I get in the Royal Archives, when I get into the Scottish history, when I jump into Royal Archives, Scottish history, I'm going to blow your top off. Because when I was doing this in the academia and when I was getting my dual master degree at GCU, it blew my top off. You hear me? When I say top, poof, gone. When I say gone, it was like the floodgates open. And that's where all scholars, if they say they heavy, professors, they'll hide it from you, but they study where I study at too, the Royal Archives. And a lot of them part of the Philosophical Research Society where I'm a life member. So I just keep it real.
You can download a copy
You say what, Noble?
Alamy.com. You can download a copy of that picture from Alamy.com.
Yep, there you go. Bam. See my Ace. That's why I love, you know what? When people be saying, oh, this, and the other, and I'll be like, okay, well, the person got a phone, they can prove it right there. You can research any law, anything with a person trying to fraudulently conceal. We should not be excited. Especially when somebody got a fez on and magically they think they successful.
Matter of fact, let me see if I can. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can do something real quick.
Okay.
Y'all see it?
Your screen,
Coming up.
there you go. Boom.
There you go.
Boom, Noble.
Blow it up a little bit more, Noble. You good? No.
Boom. Boom.
They try to do the Egyptian nose.
Yeah. Pull it down, son, Noble, before you can see the face. Can you do that? Boom. Everybody in the lips ain't all big and fat and all that. I'll be like, man, y'all people is crazy.
I mean, they distorted all of that stuff.
We're talking about Moors. They tell you Moors in Egypt, Moors. Moors. Look at his beard. You see you see the texture on the beard?
Mm-hmm.
So those are one of 4 joint rulers. Those are the 4 joint rulers.
Yeah. That's the symbology. In Masonry now. Okay, now see, I wasn't gonna go there. But since Malik said something, look at symbology where, no disrespect, they always steal stuff. They not original. All that outward symbology, all that stuff is fugazi. That outward symbology means nothing. I told you, we taking all our signs and symbols back. They ain't finna take nothing and use it for evil. You see how they got the hand on the shoulder, on the left shoulder?
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
I mean, really, that beard don't look is really too much different than the Iberian.
I was waiting.
Picture up at the Greek restaurant.
Can you put? Come on, Noble. See, I wasn't gonna go there. I wasn't gonna go there. That's why I love to teach. When I teach at the university, Noble, this elementary wisdom, when I started pulling all out, started connecting it like boom, 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 start showing the Vikings. You're like, damn, this is like the Vikings. Boom, 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 boom with them. And then I show you how they try to take the Vikings' nose off too. Boom, boom, boom. Yes, all in historically. Yes, Iberians, the Canaanites, the Phoenicians. Yes, 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 Noble. And when you start connecting, remember I told y'all, we the only group of people that'll take somebody that stepped on our neck and won't investigate them when these, no disrespect again, when these brothers that call themselves Egyptologists, they use that pseudoscience from Zachariah Stitcher. Talk about some Anunnaki.
If you don't mind me asking, what's the significance of the hand on the left shoulder?
We'd write that down. We'd talk about it. You already know. It's really, how can I say it, man? A lot of gestures be doing, like, how can I say, distress symbols and recognitions. That's all they be. It's brotherhood symbols that a person can just take. If you don't know what they mean, I can tell you it mean anything, right?
That's facts.
Abracadabra.
Yeah.
So what I'm telling you is, when you get to the basis of things, it's the way we straighten them up. It's nothing wrong with handshakes. It's nothing wrong with the master class. Because remember, it was only somebody that can put Haram Abib back together again, that knew the certain class, that knew the math. I'm teaching science. Am I teaching, Greg Maso? It's in our Exhumed Other Nation.
Indeed.
It's in our Exhumed Other Nation. This is the stuff that we should do. All this stuff think about it. It's nothing evil.
Look, I was just out the other night. And Eastern Star sister was she was having a conversation with me and brought me to the side and tried to, she wanted to shake my hand.
Uh-huh.
Just talking, just giving praises and things of that nature. So
we don't disrespect them. Them, but I said, if they want to be enlightened, they can. But some of them know, some of them don't know. The problem is with a lot of it, Noble, is you did all that and don't know. That's where it hurts. When you go through all that and you get into, and you wearing things on clandestine and you got all this stuff pinned down and your tassel don't got, and your feds don't have the circle, you don't know anything, especially the brothers that have been buried in a shallow grave and wear a memory of Haram Abif and Tubal Cain with your balls castrated and not knowing the true science, where you buried at the tomb and all this stuff and what the Akasa tree symbolized. It's messed up if you went through all that and don't know. It's messed up even more if you do know and you acting like you don't know. So it's messed up on both levels. It's just messed up on both levels. Like Eastern Star, those are Daughters of American Revolution. If you said something to her about the Daughters of American Revolution, she probably would have started trembling her boots. If you showed her the document that we share about the Daughters of American Revolution, she'll be shook in her boots. And it's no disrespect.
yeah.
It's not. It's no disrespect. You are the Eastern Star Empress. You are. Let me teach you. Let a sheik show you that's going to show you that you don't got to do none of that, because none of that stuff ain't going to do nothing for you. These auspices are going to be everything you need, and you're going to wear your fez proudly. You ain't going to be acting crazy like some of them people be doing. You're going to understand this, and you're not going to be wearing your fez in clandestine. You're going to take all those markings off, and you're going to rock your fez in your everyday life, if that's how you choose. But I bet she got a white one with a gold tassel at the crib in the bag. Right. I bet you she got one. And I bet you it's the file. And I bet you her tassel pinned down. She don't know nothing about that, which is sad.
Yeah.
You see how she want to come talk to you in private? See, I don't talk to nobody in private. If I want to talk to you, I ain't pulling you this. I'm going to talk to you right in front of everybody, for everybody can see us talking. It's universal with me. I want them to see Morris conversing. I want them to see us doing this in regular. I'm not going to pull you to the side and talk whisper. I'm going to talk to you for everybody can hear what I'm saying, for people can gather around. I told y'all I speak from what I'm saying from a bullhorn. I'm in Arizona. When I speak, people gather because I'm speaking righteousness. I don't care what color you are. If I'm speaking in a group like I was at the university when I lecture, I can be in the hallway. You'll look around and be like, man, you'll go live. You wouldn't be like, man, she got 30 people right around in circles, because I'm teaching universal. And if you hearing something that you like. My people know my voice, man. I ain't here to debate no one, but gratitude, Noble, is on us. It's on us to educate us, man. It ain't about arguing with nobody, but it is people. It like our prophet said, this is the time to see what people seeing. Righteous Moors like yourself, righteous Moors like Lamarck, righteous Moors like Malik, Alonzo, Solomon, all of us, our empresses. That's what this is about. And then teaching. That's what this is about, Noble. But yeah, I don't do nothing in secrecy, man. I try to do everything right up front. But gratitude for her even recognizing you. But yeah, that blew her mind when she saw that Fez undefiled in regular life. She ain't know what to do. She did. I told you they gotta recognize you. They must. How you? Oh, you don't see this man in the Fez, and you wear one, and you got one. You wear one in ceremonies. You want to see what this man is about. You should. Why wouldn't you? You like, wait a minute. I got one of these at home that I wear in ceremonies. He got one on, and he is black.
That's fine.
Even when you wear your maroon one. You see? It can be a dunce hat to the ones that's not righteous. It's nobility to the ones that's righteous. Understand this. This don't make you righteous. The wisdom make you righteous. When I tell Moors, I want my tassel to be 18 inches and 24 inches like yours. Why? This is wisdom. This. Come on, man. I'm a scholar in real life. No disrespect to nobody. I'm a sheik in real life. Everybody don't have to accept me. I have a brotherhood, but I'm damn sure a scholar in real life. I'm damn sure a leader in real life. I'm damn, like I tell people, I don't like to show degrees, but people want to say qualifications and what make you qualified. I have those degrees too. And I'm from the hood, Flint, Michigan. That should make it even better, shouldn't it?
Islam.
I'm just saying, no, when the person say, well,
no, I just seen a video. I just got a rare DVD. I'd never seen a video of Pleasant Bay.
Uh-huh.
And like I gotta get this video to y'all, to everybody. But he's, like you said, he's from Baltimore, man. So one of the roughest cities in the world. So I mean,
yeah.
For him to come out with that information, the way he compiled it, is no reason why every person on this that wants to study history shouldn't have this book, like you always say.
And to dedicate your life to something, like I said, man, I lost my baby brother killed in the streets. My baby brother killed Jelani Goodman, murdered by Moors, murdered by somebody that looked like you. My cousin Miguel Swain, I've seen it, you know. And I came out when people be saying, "Oh, the white man this." No, I didn't go to the university to beg for no job, Nobles. I went and got my bachelor's degree in business for I can be doing this. If I can be credible, so I can make them sit on their hands. So you can have a Moor that can be in all those positions in life. I went and got that master's degree, so when it's time for your brother to be in those positions and bring things down to the people, I'm going to be there. It's going to be one. How are we talking about all this law stuff when we don't have no dog in the race? Like, to me, this is crazy, and we're not supporting no real movement to make it work. We gotta trust somebody. And if more say they love me and they doing all this and they like what I'm doing, you don't want to donate to something that's real, you don't trust me. There's no way. That's what I tell all my friends. I said, you love me, but you know my station and you know this is my life. If you're not willing to support this, there's no way you can trust me. There's no way. Like, especially if you doing things with I ain't telling you what to do with your money, but if you live and you say, hey man, this brother doing this, I need to help support my boy. This is what the righteousness, what he doing, all this literature he writing for the kids, all for the science, and being a divine minister. This man going to the prisons, do all this and give his life. I mean, that's what we supposed to be supporting. Because I'm not gonna die like Dr. Ben and J.A. Rogers poor. They died poor, y'all. I'm telling you, they died poor. They died poor. All that scholarship them brothers did, research it. When John Henry, when Dr. Ben lecturing, he'll tell you how J.A. Rogers died poor, and then he died poor as well. In a senior center, and then everybody want to talk that stuff.
The Jews from Alexander to Horeb.
You say what, Noble?
The new Clarendon Bible?
Yeah.
The Jews from Alexander to Herod.
Mm-hmm.
You have that?
I have to look. Send me a text on that, Noble. I probably do. I just can't think of it off my head, Noble. But I go ahead, Noble.
No, I was saying about the Russia Icona book too. I was doing some research. on it, like these books and bread book sites and things like that. So I haven't been able to track it down where the price is below what they showed on Amazon. I think it was like maybe 1,500.
Yeah, Amazon don't. A Books may have it. A Books may have it.
A book is out right now. They didn't have any stuff, but what they do have is like they have different. I know they don't have the Ivanov one.
Nope.
But there's two others that I came across, but they have the same names, but they're not the same. So it's like Russian icons by two other authors. But they do have illustrations in those books too. Yep. And those books are like $100, $200.
I think y'all got them already, man. I sent y'all a couple icon books.
Yeah, we got those.
Y'all should have those. I've been sending y'all Nobles. I promise y'all. I've been sending y'all jewels for years. A lot of stuff you talk about you have. You just got to go with. I promise you probably got about 2 or 3 icon books.
We do. Probably. That's probably where I see it. Yeah.
And these cost hundreds of dollars.
Yes. Islam, you do.
Y'all got them.
I've seen them. So there's a series of illustrations, series of carvings and artistry.
I have to go. I'm gonna pull out the Russian eye because I got the book. I just got to go get it, man. But I got it. Some of my expensive books I don't like to pull out because there's just no reason to, man. I just tell people research them, check it out for yourself. And if we want to get them at the group, we can. I'm with everything. We can get them and make them available PDF like we do. And then we all split the cover on expensive books. I'm telling y'all, we're going to be the ones that replant this earth with this wisdom, just like the book of Eli. Not only having the books, but able to speak the books and able to live the books and everything that we talking about to do it. We're doing it. Y'all library is filled. You ain't even halfway there yet. Y'all ain't even a tittle into y'all library. Man, by the time the flesh going with us, man, when we get old, we be like, man, you're going to have so much literature on things. We're gonna acquire so much things because it's a core, and we supposed to. We doing the right things. So I give gratitude to everybody. Like I said, I give gratitude to everybody that gave a donation. Cash App $KG Bay. Man, we want y'all to come privately on Zoom. Hit us up on our Temple and School page, bbtsciencetemple.com. Get your Moorish American Feds at moorishaberdashery.com. And get all your Moorish American literature and much, much more Moorish. Go on mypdfbooks.com right now. That's books with a Z. Go on there and get the Exhumed of the Nation and all those books that they make expensive on Amazon. Download them on your tablet. If you want to print them, go to Office Max and Staples and they can bind them for you. With that being said, man, I love y'all, Nobles. Any other questions, man?
Just gratitude for the teachers, man. Another great
gratitude.
Gratitude. Noble Malik Barclay, and if y'all want to join, we can go over that book we're going to do tomorrow, that setting that business structure up. And if anybody want to join, we can talk about that tomorrow in the Monday manifestation if y'all want to.
Okay.
Yep. And Nobles, I'm going to do a little research because I'm going to send y'all a gift. Because a lot of stuff, I'm going to start sending y'all charts and things. All you guys got to do is go to, Barclay know. Hell, Barclay know what he got to do. Barclay know all he got to do is go where he got my beautiful chart. Because he made this one. He made this one all laminated. It's so pretty. You know what I mean? Yeah. My other one is paper. But a lot of these charts, I'm gonna try to find where I got that exposition for the Louisiana Purchase. I'm gonna do the research and send that to y'all so you can have it. Like I got a lot of charts, man. Like all this charts here.
Gratitude to Noble Malik.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep. So gratitude, man. We do our Moorish American prayer and we out of here.
Father of the universe, Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is our protector, our guide, and our salvation by night and by day. Through his Noble Drew Ali. Shalom Aleichem. Ayah Ash'ayah, Hotep, Islam. Peace, 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 peace.
Can we get that benediction, Noble Alonzo, if you still here?
Islam, Noble.
I'm telling y'all, I gotta send y'all this book of Barak, man, and I'm gonna send y'all a video. You gonna laugh. Y'all gonna laugh. And then like Alonzo said, when you start looking at all that Russian icon, and then when you start looking at the book of Idris and all this, all the pictures that they have, you're gonna be like, yeah, here it go. We see why y'all took it out. You're gonna be like, oh my God.
Looking at a mirror.
Yeah, Noble.
Islam. May the benediction of Allah be upon thee and thine always, as thou should strive to be a credit to Allah. Make haste to bestow thine acts of love upon thy brethren, and do the best to shun thine evil ones. Remember to take suckle of the breast of knowledge, wisdom, fortitude, charity, love, and all standing, that you might nourish the souls of men. Let truth be the shield in the manifest battle of falsehood. Know that Moors need not to pick the locks to the gates of paradise by means of petty or criminal death. For behold, the key to salvation already rests within thine own hands. And yes, even though a portion of our nature is weakness, instability, and inconsistency, there still is the greater part of our nature that is divine. May Allah protect thee, guide thee, preserve thee, lengthen thy age, and give thee everlasting peace. Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim, Al-Haq, Ya Muhammad, Islam, Ashe. Peace,
Peace, nobles. Love y'all, man. See y'all tomorrow.
Islam.
Islam.
Peace and love.
Peace and love.
Recordings.
Gratitude, man. Gratitude. So thank y'all for tuning in, Moors. Thank y'all for checking out our Sunday school. I give y'all gratitude, nobles. Like I said, check out mypdfbooks.com. Check out moorshaberdasher.com. And like I said, man, we do this every Sunday. And Saturday, we have our ADAPT teachings. We going over a Law Governs All event. And we basing all that and synchronize it to our Moors Quran. And I'm going to continue to build and build and build, man. But with that being said, I love you all in peace.